Today, in Part 8 of Volume 7 of Vigyan Bhairav Granth, we will describe in detail about topics like the concept of zero through the sound of musical instruments like Tantri, Veena, etc. We're looking at a text today that doesn't just philosophize about the nature of reality from a distance, it actually provides precise, almost scientific methods to experience it firsthand. If you've ever wondered how something as simple as sound can be a doorway to absolute, profound silence, well, you're definitely in the right place.
So, here's a quick look at our roadmap for this explainer. We'll start with the mystery of Nod Yoga, move into the dialogue of Shiva and Shakti, decode verse 41, look at the spiritual and tantric significance, break down a practical step-by-step meditation method, and wrap up by embracing the supreme void.
Let's jump right into Part 1, the mystery of Nod Yoga.
Nod Yoga is the ancient spiritual practice of uniting the individual mind with cosmic consciousness. And it does this through incredibly focused listening to subtle internal and external sounds. But what's absolutely crucial to grasp here is that this isn't just about enjoying a nice piece of music, not at all. It's actually a foundational mechanical process. It's about how sound acts as a physical bridge to total silence. In this specific tradition, sound is treated as a powerful vehicle, a tool that transports our awareness from the gross physical world of everyday distractions right down into the most subtle vibrational essence of reality.
That brings us to our second section, the dialogue of Shiva and Shakti. To really get what's happening, you have to understand how this entire scripture is framed. It's set up as this incredibly intimate, cosmic dialogue. The goddess Shakti is asking Lord Shiva about the ultimate nature of reality. And what's brilliant about this is how Lord Shiva responds. He doesn't give her a dry, theoretical, or philosophical debate. Instead, he answers by offering 112 dharanas, or methods of centering awareness. These are direct, highly practical techniques designed to help the practitioner experience the supreme reality for themselves. It is literally an ancient manual for hacking human consciousness.
Which leads us perfectly into Section 3, decoding verse 41.
Take a look at this excerpt from page 33 of the Vigyan Bhairav. It features the original Sanskrit text of verse 41, along with its profound commentary. I really want you to appreciate that this right here isn't just poetry. It's an ancient formula. It's a precisely documented methodology for using the sounds of stringed instruments to literally reach a state of samadhi. The original verse reads, Antri Radhi Vadya Shabdeshu Dirgheshu Krama Samsthite Ananya Cheta Pratyante Paravyoma Vapur Bhavet. Even if you don't speak the language, just listening to the phonetic rhythm of the Sanskrit gives you a real sense of the continuous, flowing nature of the practice it's describing. So what does that actually mean for us? Let's translate it into simple English. The verse says, when a practitioner focuses with undivided attention on the prolonged, sequential sounds of string instruments, like the veena, this continuous contemplation ultimately transforms them into the form of the supreme void. This is so incredibly direct. The physical external sound of the instrument literally acts as a vehicle, carrying the practitioner's consciousness out of their busy, chattering mind and into absolute stillness. But to really understand exactly how this works, we need to break down 3 key terms from this verse.
First up, the instruments themselves, Tantri and Veena. Why stringed instruments specifically? Well, what's really interesting here is the acoustic physics at play. Think about it. When you pluck a string on a Veena, the sound doesn't just stop instantly, right? It has this long, resonant, sequential decay. It gradually, almost imperceptibly, fades from a loud, gross sound into an incredibly subtle, faint vibration before eventually crossing that threshold into total silence. And that exact fading trajectory is the precise path the mind needs to follow.
Next, we have the required mindset, Inanna Cheta. This translates to a state of undivided, single-pointed attention. And make no mistake, the technique absolutely fails if the mind wanders. The practitioner's consciousness must merge entirely with the sound of that string. You aren't just sitting back and casually listening to the sound. Your awareness actually becomes the sound. So naturally, as the sound fades, your mind fades right along with it.
And the final destination of this journey, that's Paravyoma. This is the supreme void, absolute space, or what is known as the state of shunya, zero. It's the ultimate destination where individual ego and consciousness dissolve completely into universal consciousness. That fading acoustic sound is what carries the single-pointed Ananacheta mind directly into the vastness of Paravyoma. Let's move to Section 4 and unpack this a bit more, the spiritual and tantric significance.
Now, what's really fascinating here is the stark contrast between the literal meaning and the deeper tantric meaning. On a literal level, it just looks like a musician sitting there, simply listening closely to the fading note of a plucked sitar or veena. But tantrically, the physical act is just a shadow of the internal, spiritual dissolution that's taking place. The practitioner is intentionally using the physical decay of that acoustic vibration to mirror and actually induce the dissolving of their own individual ego into the universal void.
This gives us three really distinct, powerful ways to look at this practice. Religiously speaking, it's viewed as a direct path to experiencing Parabrahma Swarup, which is the ultimate state of Lord Shiva. Tantrically, it highlights a core, beautiful philosophy. You do not have to reject or hide from the physical world to find enlightenment. Instead, you use sensory input, in this case sound, as the very tool for your transcendence. You literally use the world to go beyond the world. And on a purely practical level, it is a masterful, ancient way of training the human nervous system to sustain unbroken focus and access profound states of tranquility.
Okay, Section 5, the step-by-step meditation method.
Let's actually break this down into 4 actionable steps, almost like a teacher guiding a student. Step 1, you strike or pluck the stringed instrument, the tantri. Step 2, you fixate your undivided attention, that's that Ananucha state we talked about, purely on the prolonged, continuous sound. Now, step 3 is where the heavy lifting really happens. You must maintain an entirely unwavering mind as the note sequentially decays and becomes more and more subtle. And finally, step 4, as the sound completely ends, you don't just stop paying attention. Instead, you let your awareness slip seamlessly into the resulting silence, entering the void.
To really help you visualize this, I want you to imagine the lingering resonance of that plucked veena string as a fading echo in a massive, deep canyon. You hear it bouncing off the walls, getting fainter and fainter until it completely merges with the absolute silence of the landscape. Your mind is tracking that echo so closely, and when the echo finally vanishes, your mind doesn't jump to the next thought. It's simply left resting in the vast, quiet space of the canyon itself.
And finally, Section 6, embracing the supreme void. As we wrap up, we really have to ask ourselves, what exactly is the true essence of this shunya, this zero state? In Western thought, zero often just means nothing, a complete lack of something. But is that really what Lord Shiva is guiding Shakti toward here? Just a cold, empty, blank nothingness? Absolutely not. And this perfectly illustrates the core philosophical shift of this entire text. It is not an empty nothingness. The commentary describes it as a state of Parabrahma Swarup Shunyatmak. This void is actually a supreme, joyous vastness where transient sounds lead to absolute absorption. It is full of infinite potential and bliss. It's the underlying canvas of reality upon which all the transient sounds and experiences of the universe are painted. When the sound of the veena leads you there, you aren't disappearing into nothing. You are experiencing absolute absorption into the very fabric of existence itself. So I want to leave you with this thought to take into your day. If the fading resonance of a single plugged string on a veena can act as a vehicle to transport human consciousness entirely into the infinite void, what other everyday sounds around you right now might just be secret doorways to samadhi? The Vigyan Bhairav is teaching us that the bridge to the ultimate reality is vibrating in the air all around us, all the time. We just have to learn how to truly listen.